There was something about walking up to Highbury on a Saturday in the 70s or 80s that gave you a nervous feeling. Not just because of the match result, though that mattered, but because of the energy in the air. You could feel the tension in people's eyes. The game wasn't just played on the pitch. It was in the streets, the pubs, and the tube stations. For Arsenal fans, match day was football and a fight for pride. You didn't just go to watch, you went to represent. 1. The walk to Highbury. Match days started early. Groups would meet at Finsbury Park or Arsenal tube station, blending into the sea of red and white on Gillespie Road. But we didn't wear colors, not usually. It was the casuals era. We wore Lacoste, Adidas, Sergio Tacchini. Stylish clothes, but we were tough lads. Finsbury Park was where we gathered. Sometimes there were 30 of us, sometimes 300. If big rivals like West Ham, Spurs, or Chelsea were coming, everyone knew it might kick off. They had their own firms, and so did we. The Herd, the Gooners, the Hybrid Mob. Our heart was the North Bank, but trouble usually started before we even got to the turnstiles. 2. The roads around the ground. Blackstock Road, Seven Sisters, Drayton Park. These were danger zones. If we heard that away fans were drinking somewhere nearby, we'd go find them. Sometimes fights were planned. Sometimes it just happened. You'd see a familiar face and know it was on. I remember Birmingham in '82. We heard their firm, the Zulus, were at a pub near Holloway Road. About 50 of us went down. Glasses, chairs, fists. It went off. The police arrived late, as usual. A few got arrested, and it was over. The worst was always West Ham. In '81, they tried to take the North Bank. They came in early, in big numbers, through the side gates. They got in, but we weren't having it. We gathered at the back and charged down together. Fists, boots, whatever we had. The police came in swinging, but the damage was already done. West Ham ran off. 3. Inside the ground, the North Bank. Highbury was tight and old school. The North Bank was where you made noise and made your name. Legends like Johnny Hoy, Jenkins, Denton, and Terry Steele led the way. Even though it was always packed, somehow the peanut seller moved through the crowd like a Jedi. The police band leader would toss his baton high and catch it every time. It was all part of the atmosphere. Sometimes away fans got in early and took the North Bank. Spurs were the worst for that between '75 and '81. They often stayed all game, but we fought to push them out. From '82, we got more organized. When West Ham tried again, we used a smoke bomb to confuse them, then attacked. From that year, no one ever took the North Bank again. 4. Inside the ground. Pitch invasions. Pitch invasions were rare. Spurs got pushed onto the pitch a few times. Villa fans invaded when they won the league at our place in '81. We weren't having that, so we ran onto the pitch from the North Bank and chased them back to the clock end. 5. Inside the ground. The clock end. If you wanted a proper scrap, you went to the clock end, where the away fans were. You'd get in early, mix with it then, and wait. Chelsea in '74 or '75, Boxing Day, we beat them so badly they had to leave early. Forest in '79, loads of their fans giving it large. A few of us were spread out, then all came together. It kicked off big time. Millwall in '78, proper hard South London lot, came in force and chased a few of us off. Wolves in '78 brought a huge crew. And then Chelsea's firm showed up too after their game got cancelled. It was chaos. By the early '80s, Arsenal had real numbers. Young lads full of energy. The North London derby became more than a match. It was a war. Spurs were always the biggest target. 6. The derby days. Tottenham away was wild. Just getting there was risky. We'd split up to avoid police, then meet near the ground. In '84, it all kicked off on Tottenham High Road. Both sides had about 200. Bottles, bricks, punches. Madness. At Highbury, Spurs tried the same. Came up through Arsenal Station. But we were ready, waiting by the old pie shop. We stopped them cold. They remember that. We do too. 7. The fashion, the fear, the family. Being part of the hooligan scene wasn't just about fights. It was about feeling part of something. The clothes, the codes, knowing who's who. You learn fast. When to stand, when to run, who to trust. Not every fight felt good. People got badly hurt. Some carried weapons. Some ended up in jail or worse. The police weren't soft either. Special units came down hard. Batons, dogs, arrests. But still, we came back week after week. 8. Highbury's last roar. By the late '80s, things changed. CCTV, banning orders, undercover cops. The casual scene faded. After Hillsborough, football crowds changed too. But if you ever stood on the North Bank waiting for the away lot to show, you'll never forget it. The fear, the pride. In '91, Highbury started changing. New seats, new stands. In 2006, Arsenal played their last game there, beating Wigan 4-2 and snatching a Champions League spot from Spurs. A perfect end to a legendary ground. 9. Arsenal away. People underestimated Arsenal's firm, maybe because others had taken the North Bank a few times. But the truth is, a lot of our lads were down at the clock end, ready and waiting. Enjoyed the video? Like, share, and subscribe for more.